Hi everyone, Radhe Radhe. In this video, we're going to be doing chapter 13, verse 23. So, Bhagwan Shri Krishna in the previous verses talked about the soul, and here he's talking about the Paramatma. So it's a very clear distinction again between the soul and God for impersonalists. So it's a good verse. He had spoken about it according to Swami Mukundanand even in 13.3 where he talked about the knower and the knower of the knower. There are two knowers. There are two. Kshetra is the field and Kshetragya is the knower of the field, and there are two knowers of the field, the soul, the Atma, Jivatma, and Paramatma, which is the super soul, God. Okay, so let's sing this verse together and let's sing the prayers together, then let's sing the verse together. Okay. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Dear Bhagwan Shri Krishna, please help us understand this to as much depth as we possibly can. Please, 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 please help us understand this verse. Please help us understand this verse. Thank you. Okay, so let's sing the verse. उपद्रष्टानुमन्ता च भर्ता भोक्ता महेश्वरः परमात्मेति चाप्युक्तो देहेऽस्मिन् पुरुषः परः. So he's using the word Paramatma. He's saying Paramatma, the super soul, and is in this body of, he is the Purusha. Okay, so yet in this body there is another transcendental enjoyer who is the Lord, the Supreme Proprietor, Paramatma, who exists as the overseer and the permitter, who is also known as the Super Soul Paramatma. So overseer and permitter, he said, Supreme Enjoyer, Bhokta. Yeah, so he uses the word, Prabhupada explains it below. He's the overseer, upadrishta, and permitter, anumanta. So he is the one who basically bestows the karma. So with the super soul is always with the individual soul. The Paramatma is always with the Jivatma. And so he's para-transcendental, and he's talking about again Paramatma, the distinction between Atma and Paramatma, because he's made it here. So this is for impersonalists. This is a pretty clear thing. The individual is the bhokta, and the Lord is the bhokta, or the maintainer. So the sustained or the maintainer. Okay, so yeah, so the living entity does not want to. They want to reject the sanction of the Supreme Lord and act independently because they want to dominate this world. This misuse of independence is the cause of his material strife. Okay. Swami Mukundanand here talks about again Jivatma and Paramatma, that they're different, and he says 13.3. Individual soul is the knower of the body and Supreme Soul is the knower of all bodies. And then he talks about that story, which we've heard many times, I suppose. I have heard many times where it's like the two birds in the tree, and the Jivatma is turned his back towards the Paramatma and is wanting to do all kinds of things, like taste the fruit, and Paramatma is just he's a friend, but he does not interfere, just sits and watches. So if Jivatma turns to the Paramatma, all miseries will come to an end. So when the sweet fruit comes, the Jivatma is happy. When bitter fruit, it becomes sad. right? So, but the improper use of that free will, Jivatma, is in bondage. We think that we are free, but we're actually in bondage. We're in bondage of Maya and everything. So, it by learning the proper usage, it can attain eternal service of God and experience infinite bliss. It's beautiful, really beautiful. Okay, so yeah, that's it for this verse. We'll do chapter 13, verse 24 in the next video. Wish you a day filled with lots of Krishna's grace and lots of spiritual growth and lots of this feeling ecstatic spiritual bliss. Radhe Radhe.